Welcome back to another episode of the Roblox Rivals Coaching series. This one is going to be a little bit different because I won't be covering just one gameplay. I will take the most important moments from two similar gameplays. I will also test your knowledge and skill with some fun quizzes, break them down, and of course, do what I usually do in these videos. I also mentioned the skin case giveaway in the last video. We hit 20,000 subs, which I'm really thankful for. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, write your username in the comments, and the skin case you want, like I'm showing on the screen. I will pick 3 winners randomly and reveal them in the next video. I will be doing another skin case giveaway at 25,000 subs, so make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So in the first gameplay we have a really mechanically decent platinum player against someone who claims they're nemesis. His movement is good, so is his aim. He won the first 3 rounds by out-aiming and outplaying his opponent, though I still have to mention a couple of moments where he kind of struggled with aiming or while landing shots on his opponent, and also had some bad reload or positional mistakes which made it difficult for him to win. The opponent decides to be unpredictable in the 4th round. He does go to the same spot, which honestly was predictable because he went there a couple of times already, but he pulls out Exogun that doesn't require as precise aim as other weapons in the game. And he just flies around and lands a ton of damage while we can't even track him properly. We had some really nice tracking there, but then we switched to revolver while still sitting on height, which is good in some cases, but it's also really risky because it allows our opponent to reload and do the same thing. The opponent decided to move around us, which made it harder for our revolver aim, and he eventually landed a ton of damage. We finally go down to reload, but by the time we do, he is already on us. I will ask you guys, what do you think was best to do here based on what you saw? A. Stay on high ground and reload your AR. B. Go down to reload safely and then dash back up to fight. Or C. Do the same thing he did, but instead of reloading revolver, you reload your AR, which has a faster animation so you can catch your enemy off guard. If you said A, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Being on high ground leaves you exposed. The opponent can pop up at any time and catch you off guard. You don't want to reload your weapon there. If you said B, it's a much better option compared to A. You're more patient and you want to take some time to reload, think and reposition. Definitely recommended. If you said C, it might work in some cases, but considering our opponent had jump pad, he could get to us any second, which would always end up bad no matter which weapon we want to reload. I will do this type of quiz more throughout the video, so let me know down in the comments below how many you got right. Before we cover the 5th round, huge shout out to these people. Thank you so much for the support. Fifth round, our opponent is back on Exo, no jump pad this time. We could already assume which primary weapon he had by now based on the round we watched. He was also getting out-aimed, so staying on AR would just make things harder. Our player here didn't expect that sniper, so he played more aggressively, which cost him right after because the opponent caught him off guard with that headshot. Another huge mistake I wanted to cover was the 6th round. The beginning of the round went really well for us, but then we decided to overcommit, which happens to be the mistake I mentioned. What do you think is the best option here? A. Use the last 5 bullets if necessary to help us reposition, or B. Switch to revolver and continue pushing because our opponent is under half HP. If you said B, this is what the outcome looks like. Our player panicked, missed shots, decided to still reload revolver and continue pushing while low HP, which we can all agree wasn't really ideal. That's why A is, in my opinion, a far better option. The opponent is low and he's repositioning, which gives us time to reload and take some time to think. If he decides to push us instead of repositioning, we use the last couple of AR bullets to cover us while rotating back. Confidence is what caused the loss in this round. In the next 3 rounds, he switched to sniper, continued playing really aggressively, which just backs up what I said about too much confidence. He did manage to get his opponent after many shots, then he got instantly sniped in the next round. And the last round was basically the same thing, just more lucky. I'm not saying the shot itself was lucky, but the outcome was. There were a ton of situations throughout these few rounds where his opponent could have easily punished him if they just went any other weapon. He still managed to win this game, which was nice, but I would personally work on playing more patiently and not letting my confidence overtake me. This match would have ended way faster if we played a little bit more passive. He mentioned in the forum that he thinks what caused him to make many mistakes was this guy saying his nemesis, but I still feel like that wasn't really the case here. Play more patiently, think about what you want to do next, most importantly, learn from those mistakes. It happens to all of us. The next player also has really decent aim and movement. His opponent though is using Warper, which we all know lets you teleport anywhere on the map, and this specific skin seems to be a huge buff because you barely see it. Anyways, it makes it difficult for our player here, but he still manages to win the first 2 rounds. The main mistakes were made because he wasn't really used to the Warper, which is totally valid. Third round starts, and at this point we should know that the opponent is using TPs consistently. So what do you think happens at the beginning of the third round? Does A, the opponent go ramp or dash on any of the walls, or B, he uses TP to catch us off guard? If you said A, you made the same mistake our player did here. There's a slight chance our opponent goes ramp or on the walls, but knowing he has Warper, not seeing him go up and still tunnel visioning there is definitely not a good move here. That's why B is the correct answer. Our opponent indeed uses TP to catch us off guard and land a ton of damage. We pop a medkit, still dash up to fight aggressively even though we're still low HP. We reload EXO fully exposed in front of the other guy. You can also see that shaking, which just proves that he's panicking at this point, and yet he still somehow wins the round. Instead of punishing us each time we made a mistake, our opponent just decided to make even worse mistakes and get punished instead. So our player got lucky there. Next round, our opponent is on Katana. He uses the same TP too, which we expected this time. Honestly, well played. We got way too confident, dash in his face, miss some shots, he disappears and we start panicking. He TPs back and boom, the round is already over. Personally, I wouldn't stay there the entire time. I would eventually move or try to move out so I can properly reload or take some time. The other guy used TPs really well, which kind of made it harder for us. We expect him to do the same thing again and he does only half of it. He used TP to successfully bait us, make us paranoid and peek from a different side, which was honestly really smart by him. We safely reload our AR and then aggressively push. The opponent used his TP to get back out mid-fight so he could take some time to reload. And as soon as we start reloading, he goes back to get us. Really well played, not gonna lie. We were too paranoid about that TP. We also ignored the fact that he can go back and that cost us the round. Different TP, but this time we are more aware and in a much better position because he doesn't know when we move out. We peek and instantly pull out the katana and win the round there. A lot of people actually do this, pulling katana as soon as they peek. It's good because people usually instantly react to shoot, but when it becomes more obvious, doing that won't be as consistent and successful. He's back on the riot shield, which means he's back to the older loadout, which means he has freeze ray too. We pushed way too confidently here, kept holding with Exogun, and boom, got frozen 2 seconds after. It's alright though, we haven't actually seen our opponent use freeze ray that much. He did it only once, so this could happen to anybody. It's important to not make the same mistake again. We switched off Katana because it's not necessary anymore. We dash on top because our opponent went ramp the last time. We managed to catch him off guard and land some really good damage. Our opponent makes the mistake of going on the ramp, trying to get closer so he can use the freeze ray, and he loses the round. Price played this pretty well. He switched to other loadouts to counter his opponent, learned from his mistakes, and that's what helped him actually win the game at the end. You can see some similarities in both gameplays at this point. Both of them played more aggressively and were way too confident in some situations, which cost them rounds. As soon as they avoided making those same mistakes again, they won. So no matter if your aim and movement are really good, even if you can out-aim your opponent, there are still other things that can make you lose your games. I hope you liked the style of this video and those questions. Let me know in the comments how many you got right, give me your POV on both gameplays, and of course, try helping each other instead of hating on anyone. Thank you once again for 20,000 subs, join my Discord server, and YouTube thinks you will like the video on the left side of the screen, so make sure to check it out.